The Minecraft movie officially gets its Steve. The Steam Awards are basically the meme awards, and you know that Mickey Mouse horror game? Well, it's looking awfully sus. I'm Ash Dixon, and this is GINX News. Jack Black has been cast as Steve in the Minecraft movie. The character has had a big question mark on his head since the movie was announced all the way back in 2016, 8 years ago, that hurts to say. Since then, we've had the Mario movie, which in my opinion was single-handedly carried by Jack Black. Oh, and that cute nihilistic little star. So if you're a studio exec, Jack Black seems like a rather safe bet. Other cast members include Jason Momoa and Emma Myers, who you may know from Wednesday. And it's worth remembering that this is going to be a live-action film, which leaves some rather huge questions around what they plan to do with the character Steve. You know, the voiceless husk of a lead with 64 pixels for a face. And while Jumanji clearly showed that Jack Black does have range, I can't help but feel like they're gonna go down the goofy yet lovable route, kind of like Emmett from the Lego movie. I also hope they don't follow the cliche of Steve being from the normal world who gets magically transported to the mysterious world of Minecraft. Like, I get it, it's a convenient narrative vehicle to help the audience connect with the protagonist, but come on, it's kind of a bit overdone. I'm hoping the plot isn't just he rocks up in Minecraft here, he learns to survive under the guidance of a native before having to defeat the Ender Dragon in order to make his way back home. Overall, I'm just curious how they maintain the feel of Minecraft. I'd personally love it if they used some of C418's original soundtrack from the game, although that looks quite unlikely at this point. Plus, let's be honest, if you remove the blocky aesthetic, Minecraft has the potential to be quite spooky at times. I may have screamed more than once after a creeper blew me up out of nowhere in a deep dark cave. Now, I was a little skeptical about this news at first, considering there had been some fake rumors swirling about, but luckily Jack Black posted this lovely image on Instagram, so we're all good. Which leaves me curious what you think. Is Jack Black the right man for the job? What vibe should the movie go for? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, I know 2023 is over and we've had enough of all those award ceremonies, but we've got to talk about the Steam Awards. And yes, Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year, obviously, but due to the fact that the awards are based purely on public votes, the winners seem to swing between a legit deserving pick or just an absolute meme. For example, the Better With Friends award went to Lethal Company, and I'm totally on board with that. Hearing your friends scream in pure terror is always fun. The Sit Back and Relax award went to Dave the Diver, and again, that game just has great vibes. But then you have the Most Innovative Gameplay award, which went to Starfield. And Steam users, you ain't fooling anyone here. The game entered 2024 with mostly negative reviews. And while there's people who will defend Starfield, let's not pretend there's anything innovative about navigating multiple menu screens, fast traveling, and then doing that again 5 minutes later. I will give props to Bethesda for their potato physics, but that's hardly deserving of any awards. And if there were any doubts that this was a meme, then there's also the Labor of Love award that went to Red Dead Redemption 2. Don't get me wrong, fantastic game, but the community has plenty of hate for Rockstar for how they failed to keep supporting it. I mean, the game came out back in 2019 and Rockstar officially bid farewell to it in 2022. But here it is winning the Labor of Love 2023 award. That's right, Steam users, give the game some free PR. That'll clearly show them. The whole thing is just hilarious and just goes to show that while events like the Game Awards are clearly flawed, you really just can't use public votes in today's day and age. Although, let's be honest, it's a lot more fun when we do. That's how you get Boaty McBoatface or Pitbull playing gigs in Alaska. On yesterday's show, we had a little chat about the newly revealed Mickey Mouse horror game. After all, his early depictions are now in the public domain and people are going to want to milk that mouse. But since filming that video, it turns out that there were some glaring red flags that I totally missed, so my bad on that one. You see, it turns out the game has a fair few neo-Nazi dog whistles, one too many for people to doubt whether it was all a coincidence. The original title was Infestation 88, and I remember seeing that yesterday and thinking that's a bit of a strange title, especially because, as I mentioned yesterday, the name Steamboat Killy is just right there for the taking. But in my stupid post-New Year's sleep-deprived brain, I kind of just brushed it off as poor decision-making. After all, this is the industry that has named games Modern Warfare 2 multiple times and also produced Big Mother Truckers 2, Truck Me Harder. But on this occasion, it seems Hanlon's razor failed me because that number 88, well, it's to neo-Nazis what the number 69 is to me, a particular favorite. You see, H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, and stick two of those together and you get HH, a vile little acronym for Hail Hitler. Now, the developers Nightmare Forge Games have since changed the name to Infestation Origins, and in a statement they said they picked the original name because the game is set in the 1980s, with the year 1988 being picked due to its symmetrical design. And I don't know, it's yet another cliche co-op horror game, so I really don't see how the year it's set in is so important that it has to be in the title, especially as it seems to have no relevance in the trailer. And of all the years to pick, the one they landed on doesn't look particularly good when the game is called Infestation and it's about gassing rats. Which is also strange because Mickey Mouse is, you know, a mouse, but hey, let's not dwell on that. And from just that, you might be able to brush it off as an innocent mistake, but that's not the only issue. You see, the number 88 often gets paired with the number 14, which references a white supremacist slogan, and there's a lot of mentions of 14 too. The title is made up of 14 characters. The found footage section of the trailer takes place on October 13th, 1988, meaning the game is likely to take place on the 14th. It's described as a 1 to 4 player game, and the developers are said to have 14 years of experience. Now, individually, all of those might sound ambiguous, but the whole point of a dog whistle is that you can feign ignorance when you get called out. And it doesn't stop there either, because there's also this sign in the trailer that turns up twice that seems to reference the STG-44, a German World War II rifle. And clearly this resonated with certain people because Nazis started joining the official Discord server and weren't exactly ambiguous about their opinions. Those people have since been banned, and the developers have responded saying they're not Nazis themselves, but also there seems to be basically no information about Nightmare Forge Games, and when publications have reached out for some background info about the studio, they've refused to identify themselves, saying they want to maintain privacy. And I don't know, with that many dog whistles, I can't help but think it's because if their identities were revealed, some people might do their homework and wow, look, it turns out they're Nazis. The whole thing is just a shame. Like, the idea of a Mickey Mouse horror game was never exactly original. There's already 2 horror movies that have also been announced, but still, it could have just been some silly, innocent fun. Now it looks like a dodgy, malicious mess that I ain't gonna be touching with a 10-foot pole. And that's the show. We're starting the year as a very small channel, but we have ambitions for greatness. So please do jump on board by subscribing and join us for the ride. You can check out yesterday's video somewhere around here, and we'll see you tomorrow.